We are back with another episode of Healthy Thriving Family After Divorce. Stephanie Dobson is with us once again. Stephanie is a lawyer, mediator, and online educator with offices in Lloydminster and Edmonton. Stephanie, thanks for joining me once again.
Thanks for having me, Stacey, as usual.
Well, this week we are talking about the role of neutral professionals in the divorce process.
Yeah, there's many types of neutral professionals who may assist us as needed through the divorce process. So they're not mandatory throughout the entire process, but there's lots of different people that can help us. So 3 examples that I wanted to highlight today. One is financial professionals, one is mental health professionals, and the other one are child specialists.
Okay, well, let's start with the first one then. Financial professionals, how can they be of help throughout this process?
So financial professionals actually play a really crucial role in divorce by providing expertise and guidance with respect to financial matters. So one thing that people might be pretty familiar with is asset valuation. So sometimes we need to hire neutral appraisers or business valuators to determine the value of an asset or a property or an investment. Another way is number 2 is financial analysis. So sometimes we need to analyze the income, expenses, and debts and financial documents to make sure that we're assessing the financial picture accurately. Third, budgeting. So there's lots of people who have never maybe created a budget, and sometimes that post-divorce budgeting is really key to making sure that you can make ends meet in 2 homes. Number 4, tax implications. So of course we want to talk with the accountants and the business valuators to help us with the tax implications of various asset dispositions. Retirement planning. Sometimes we have older divorcing couples and they need to plan for what this is going to look like on retirement. And spousal support and child support. So sometimes they can help us with figuring out the appropriate amounts for child and spousal support. Recently, I've been using a business valuator to help us with guideline income reports. So figuring out what incomes might be for families.
Okay, and we're going to move on now and talk about mental health professionals. Obviously, this is something that, especially for people who are going through this just at the beginning and kids are involved, it's very, very important.
Yeah, mental health professionals play a vital role in supporting individuals and families during a divorce by providing emotional and psychological help. So they provide things like emotional support, even communication skills. Sometimes parents don't have those communication skills before they separate, and it makes it even more difficult when in 2 homes. Co-parenting guidance, so strategies, creating parenting plans, making sure that your parenting is a healthy co-parenting relationship. Coping strategies, of course, to deal with I call it divorce counseling, to deal with the emotions around the divorce. Conflict resolution, of course. These professionals are also mediators and can help with that conflict resolution. Children's well-being, so they can help support children during the divorce process. And we'll talk in a moment more about the child specialist role, but in more of a neutral role, they can help with the children's well-being. And of course, self-empowerment. We all know that a little bit of counseling can help to boost us up emotionally and help with our self-esteem, even to help create boundaries between 2 co-parents that might be having some conflict.
Okay, and Stephanie, what about the child specialist? What is that?
So a child specialist plays a critical role to ensuring the well-being and best interest of the children during a divorce. So it's really the child's voice that's coming out. So one aspect, of course, is child advocacy. So making sure that their voices are heard and prioritized during that decision-making process. Ensuring that the parents are taking a child-centered approach. So they're taking the child's perspective and trying to make sure that that gets brought into the divorce negotiation. Child interviews, so they can interview the children in private and trying to find out their perspectives, concerns, and feelings regarding the divorce. Now, sometimes people are accustomed to having that individual as a decision maker, but in the role that I often use child specialists in, we're not talking about them being a decision maker. We're talking about them bringing their voice, the child's voice or children's voice into the divorce negotiations. more so than being a decision maker. Co-parenting guidance. So sometimes with knowing what the children, how the children are feeling, they can, that child specialist can help to bring effective co-parenting strategies to the parents. They can even assist in developing parenting plans if the lawyers want to delegate that duty to the child specialist. Conflict resolution, of course, they are a good neutral and can also be a mediator, and they can be some educational support to offer some recommendations and some resources to parents that are much needed during a separation and divorce.
All right, all very important. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Stephanie, and we will be back next week.
Thanks, Stacey.